Hi again. In this video, I will share with you my Salesforce development plan, the one that I have designed right now with all my knowledge of over 5 years of development in Salesforce. And these would be the topics that each level needs to know. So junior, middle, and senior. It's just some table that can help you orient you in this big Salesforce world. Because when you are just getting into it, there's such a plenty of stuff to learn, and you can be really lost in terms of what you need and what you don't really need right now. So this is hopefully my help to you to find out how it what you need for your path. So as you can see here, I've organized this by levels, like junior, middle, senior, by topics, data models, security, automation tools, etc. And also here would be the links to the videos where I would explain each topic, because I don't really like that YouTube doesn't have table of contents, and that's why it's my attempt to create something something mine. So here would be each topic, and on the right side the number of video, and here would be the video numbers with the links. So if you're missing some topic, you can just jump into the video when they will be here. Anyway, let's have a look at the development plan. So as a junior, of course, that would be the most of the information that you should know, because in the beginning you really must know everything, kind of overview of everything. Somewhere not on a very deep level, but still you should at least know it theoretically. So let's go through this. As junior, you should be able to work fully with the objects. So standard objects, custom objects. You should be able to create fields and know which fields types exist. What exactly is master detail, what exactly is lookup, how they differ, what is the behavior. Here, for example, in master detail behavior, you will see it on both sides, like junior and middle. This is because there is really different level of depth in how you should know that. So that's why I'm kind of separating it to put less pressure to junior table. But okay, so you should be able to work with the formulas of fields. Then you should be able to create tabs, configure page layouts, and lightning record pages, which are flexi pages. So these two stuff layouts. And for your custom objects, or standard ones, you should be able to create different record types. You should be able to configure list views. Then you should, in theory, or have just saw this once, but you should know what schema builder is. And you should be able to operate with the word junction object, and be able to create junction objects. These are the objects with two master details or two lookups. So to create these junctions, relations, many-to-many relations between the objects. And you should be also able to work just a little bit slightly with the reports and dashboards. You should be able just to create them, and know that they exist. So then, you can see it's like data model, this part. Then we go to the security. It's probably the most complicated part for the junior, but here it would be that. Org wide defaults, OWD, profiles, permission sets, sharing rules. Cannot say in one word what these all are, but these are really some stuff that you must know on junior level. And later will come epics sharing and user object itself, like what we can do with the user object, and some sharing on record from the UI. And later for the senior level would come the custom permissions. By the way, I should probably tell already for each level. So if you go back to the data model for the middle, you should have full proper understanding of master detail. You should be able to work with custom settings, custom metadata, and to enable history tracking, but that's really an easy one. I just moved it to the middle section, not to to remove some overloading from the junior one. Okay, then if we go further, Automation tools. Junior developers should be able to create validation rules, workflows, process builders. But in regards to this too, you can not pay much attention to this. You should be able just to support them because they will be deprecated in a year, so in 2023 or something. So they will be deprecated, and there would be only flows stay. So flows is something you really must know how to operate with them, because a lot of projects are working with flows, and this is really a must. Can be a requirement somewhere. And also approval processes. Later, to the middle section, come escalation rules, assignment rules. Then, okay, backend part, my favorite one. Again, plenty of stuff in here. And okay, as junior, you should be able to work with the triggers. That usually with what people start, then various asynchronous epics like future jobs, queuable, schedulable, batches. Then you should, of course, be able to monitor their work. It's just like this part of the UI. So it's totally related to this in here. Then you should fully be able to write high quality unit tests. And to start working with the REST service, in theory, you should have the knowledge about both REST service and REST resource and SOAP service and resources, but hands-on experience is needed only for the junior level for REST service. That's when you are doing call out from Salesforce to somewhere. You can just choose any API you want, like, I don't know, some currency rates from some global API, whatever, and you should be able to do this call out, HTTP call outs from Salesforce and to somewhere and get the response. That's the level for the junior. That's totally enough not to overload your path. And then named credentials is something also I'm put into the first part because it's best practice that goes with the REST services. Just okay, I will not dive into details, but this is also something you should consider together with that. And then goes the limits. If you might have heard or you might have not, but then I will tell you this right now. Salesforce is all about limits. That's really the difference between Salesforce and some other platforms or languages. Like, for example, in Java, you won't really face some limits. It's only when, I don't know, really CPU time is exceeded, But in Salesforce, it's everything about limits. And here is some documentation, execution, governors, and limits. And you'll find limits per transaction. That's probably the most important ones. So per transaction for everything, how many so-called queries you can use in transaction, how number of records you can get back, then number of denial statements, all this kind of stuff, really plenty of numbers, but this is really something what is being asked from you. So on certifications and on exams, that's really important, but this topic goes with each level because it's just essential. Okay, and so here this would be totally enough for the junior level, to know these in good deep level. And then for middle also comes the order of execution for the trigger. So what comes after what? When will be run the trigger, the validation rules, the workflows, the flows, how it all together works. What goes after what? Then write in REST resource when something makes call out to your Salesforce. You should be also to write REST resource. And mock classes are actually should be here because they are related to unit tests and REST already. So okay, mock classes in here. It's related to unit tests. So it goes like these three topics all together. And then here in the middle section, you should know all epics annotations. You should have hands-on experience with Invocable. You should know what remote sites are, but actually that's also, okay, I should probably put it in here. And what exactly with or without sharing means in epics classes and declarants. and email tabs. And for senior, you are already working with the SOAP services, limits again, super deep, yeah, and really knowing them by heart, and platform events. Yeah, probably this list will be enhanced further, I will see, but just, yeah, you can always open this link and find the relevant version of it. Then let's go with the database. So here goes for junior. You should know which DEM operation exists, like insert, update, delete, and delete, upsert. Yeah, then upsert, later you will use much more deep and fully should know on the middle level. Then getting back to junior, it's SOQL, like our database query language in Salesforce. Yeah, so in normal world it's SQL. Here we have SOQL, and yeah, you should be fully able to operate with that. Then SOSL, I would probably put the senior level. Then dynamic queries, this is something what would be especially needed for the batches. And again, limits, yeah, so it limits in regards to the database. And here in middle, more deep understanding of upsert, and in senior SOSL, limits again, yeah. So you see for the senior section, there is not much left all the time, but senior is supposed to cover everything super deep, and yeah, more already on consultant level, and like to be able to operate with all this stuff and to consult the clients or your team about solution. Yeah, because normally when we're talking about senior, it's already some way to the technical lead or project lead. Yeah, so that's more like knowledge level. Yeah, and then we go to the lightning part. Lightning means like this UI part, yeah, but here it's really tricky how to spread this, because oh, and I forgot to write visual force. So here all of it I would say is not necessarily needed for the junior, but it really might be different according to your company policies or your project requirements. Yeah, so just pay attention to that and better clarify if you have some company, if you're working somewhere, if you have some mentor or somebody, you can better orient yourself if you exactly need that right now, yeah, as a junior, or you can get it a little bit later. So anyway, here would be such topics as our Lightning components, then LWC, which is Lightning Web Components, bundle structure, this is related to that, so like what this bundle means. Then SLDS is UI not framework, but okay, some UI library that is there by default in Salesforce, like Bootstrap for CSS. That's how we have SLDS for Salesforce. And then interactions with the backend, how it should work, and visual force on the level of support, because again, for the it's already kind of deprecated functionality a little bit, so but it's still used on some situations on the projects. So this is really not that important. And then some general Salesforce orgs and general information. On the junior level, you should just know these words like production, sandbox, full org, UAT org, scratch, and so on, so different org types. Then nowadays we also need to know the deployment tools, and this is really a need to know SFDX in general, and later so SFDX deeper. Then you should also be able to use some developer tools like Developer Console, Workbench, Salesforce Inspector Chrome plugin. This is something what I just personally recommend, and I added it in here to also cover it with the video. And you should know that there exists some apps and App Exchange. And for the middle level, you should know the understanding of the ideal org structure, like what should go, how the orgs should be organized. I have planned a video in regards to that. And then CI processes. It's, yeah, CI/CD, these flows, yeah, also we'll cover that separately. And yeah, again, SVDs commands, but more of them. Yeah, so on this level, you should be able already freely operate with SVDX tool, and you should be able to work with data migration with data loader. And yeah, that's not a must. It's just something what I will share additionally, some useful tool that I found useful in my time, so org compare. And as senior, you should be able here already build up your own CI process, yeah. And yeah, again, there's duplicated apps and app exchange, because you should be able to, yeah, know more from a technical side how to build up a package to place it on app exchange. I don't know how understandable is everything what I'm saying, but okay, you can really rewatch this video several times, I mean within your career growth, and just get back to it again and again. If some words sound unfamiliar, then I hope by that time there would be some videos and links on the right side, and I will be glad to, yeah, put more light onto these topics. And okay, then let's go to the deployment. So as every functionality needs to be delivered, on the general level, we learn like deployment in general, what can be deployed, what cannot be deployed. This is something that I have covered already a little bit. It's this metadata or records, metadata versus records, yeah. And then change sets, you should be fully able to work with them. You should be able to do validation of change set, not deployment. And yeah, currently we're also covering SVDX deployment because it's a must already on really all the projects. And then for the middle level, you're getting acquainted with SVDX. So you're fully operating with the SVDX commands, which means also you are capable to do everything with the SVDX deployment in a super optimal way. Yeah, and as senior here would be, by the way, more information, because you should be able to do package API deployment and deployment just from the understanding what it is, and you should know about the packages, like what is managed, unmanaged packages, locked, unlocked, second generation package, and so on. So this kind of knowledge. Okay, it's soon will be the end. I hope you're not tired already. Okay, so let's go to the features and processes. There's some general topic which you should have understanding about. So, for example, the sales process. This is something from what everybody starts, like how the companies work from leads to the end of selling process, which means like from leads to order. Yeah, so you should be able to explain fully this story, and this is something what I will also describe in one video. Then also lead conversion, you should know this fully, like how it's done, what is customizable, what is not, how to customize it, yeah. Then chatter, such a feature that is also very widely used. And then for middle, you should know something like web to lead, multi-currency stuff, personal accounts, chatter again, but like on the different level, how to operate with it from the code. And later I wrote here knowledge base, but this really the section which would be, I guess, enhanced most, because yeah, I will just write all the processes in here. There are dozens of processes, really everything. So each feature can go in here. And then there is also this topic of communities. It's not really needed for the junior level, but as middle developer, you should already be able to operate with this. Normally you are facing it somewhere in the projects when your clients create the community. Community means just website on the base of the Salesforce, yeah, and so you should be able to work with community, with site, and later you should know, you should differentiate between their types and the level of customizations. Okay, and here would be the last finishing part of my grouping is the clouds. So for juniors, you should know just self-service clouds. Later, for all further levels. It really comes according to in which projects you work, and there are dozens of clouds. I'm here listing just some with which I've worked. I mean, to cover it probably a little bit with the videos, but I don't really know if this would happen, because this is normally already some project related experience and knowledge. But anyway, I have placed here that marketing cloud and community cloud you should know in the middle level, and something like Einstein, or we can write here finance cloud or B2C, B2B cloud, so it would be senior. But that's really this is not much relevant for real learning path. It's already the gaining of experience on the projects. So this table will be enhanced further, as I said, and you can just do a copy, whatever, and just, I don't know, if you want to build up your own plan, just go ahead. I'm happy to provide to you with this draft. This would be some draft that I will be working with on recording the videos for YouTube. So thank you for watching till the end. That was nice. And good luck with the learning, of course. See you.